Who rules the beaches? Who rules the surfers? Surf Nazis do, dang straight. BodyBags, where horror lies.
Hey guys, Roth from Georgia here with you, aka VHS82 Apostrophe, with another random week here at BodyBags. I am your Wednesday evening host here at BodyBags. It is week 539. It is random, as I said. It is a random week, and I'm not sure exactly why I chose this one. I don't know. I saw it somewhere, maybe something, I don't know. And I thought, you know what? I need to change things up a little bit and do something a little different. And so like last week, though, this is a 1987 film, Surf Nazis Must Die, and I think we're all agreeable to that when we meet them. I don't think we want these guys sticking around. But the one who's after them, God, this is great, man. This movie is, I'll be honest, man. I was watching this last night for the first time. First time watch. And it was a little slow in the beginning. A little slow. I had to work. I had to work a little bit. Bowl cereal and just sat there. I was home alone, which helped. And but I had to work on this one a little bit. But by the time you get about halfway through, as you're starting to get to that moment where things really just turn towards your resolution, I will say, it's you just sort of like, okay, I'm in now. It took me a little bit, but I am in. Let's go ahead. And man, the end is so worth it. I mean, it is. Okay, so there is a massive earthquake. LA is basically in ruins. And so we're in sort of a post-apocalyptic world where the surfers have all broken in, tribally, and they're competing for the sand, for the turf, and for the waves. And so you got multiple groups, which are really fun when you're being introduced to these. One of us is samurai surfers, and geez, I can't even. I should have wrote them all down, but it's pretty imaginative. But our leading group, our antagonists, of course, are the Surf Nazis, who are led under Adolf and his girl Eva, and his Mengels, or it's meant, some of these names are taken right from the German Nazi high command during World War II, and so Adolf decides, they're going to rule the beaches. They're going to rule the surf, and they're not going to let anyone. I've just had that line from Apocalypse Now. I'll surf this beach. I'll surf this beach. I've been wanting to revisit that one for a while. Yeah, so it's interesting. It's Troma film. Okay, so Troma right there. I probably don't need to say anything else. It's Troma, and not the greatest Troma film in the world. But it has its moments, and its greatest moments do come in the end. So basically, the core of our story is Leroy and his mama, Eleanor. And it's funny, I was thinking about the lyrics to Eleanor Rigby, and it's funny, it suits her because she is a lonely person. And when so she's displaced as a result of the earthquake, and she's putting into a nursing home. Her and nursing homes just don't fit. She's like a throwback to 70s exploitation flicks, man. I mean, she's the elderly mom, African-American mom on a Harley carrying machine gun shooting things. I mean, it's just early exploitation stuff, but this is sort of a throwback. Sort of feels like, and she does well, man. Gail Neely, who plays Mama. Robert Harden, we don't see a whole lot Leroy, but he'll have a run-in, man. He'll have a run-in with the Surf Nazis, and it doesn't go well for him. They will beat him to death. He intervenes trying to save an elderly lady who's had her purse, yanked from her by one of these wannabe surf Nazis who are trying to break into the gang. And as a result of his good deed, they'll beat him to death. And it's not, I mean, it's done, it's weird, I was going to say done tastefully. Has anything like that ever done tastefully? I mean, just the idea conceptually is a hard thing. But this is done in a sort of like I said, a sort of a throwback exploitation type grindhouse almost, I guess, kind of feel. It is Troma though. So when Mama finds out that her boy, now he's not so really little though, he's a grown man, but she loves her boy, she decides, oh yeah, it is war against the surf Nazis. The surf Nazis must die. And she will, it's interesting. She just doesn't like show up on the beach and start pulling out guns and start, you know, going to war. No, this is more interesting. And you never sort of get into her mind. You don't know what she's doing or planning. You just sort of follow along, and you got to kind of piece things together a little bit. But she'll like take their surfboards and she'll light them up on fire. And when Adolf in Eva, when he sees the surfboards, they just assume it's another gang. And so just as he's trying to unite all the gangs under his leadership, his rule, it sparks inter-gang war immediately. And because they just assume, right? And by the time he realizes who his antagonist really is, it's a little too late. And so she kind of waits, man. She's just sort of like waiting it out for them to just sort of beat each other down enough. And then when the getting is good, man, that's when she shows up with some grenades, a handgun. I remember the name of the handgun she's got. Oh, it's right there in my mind. I just can't spit it out. And ultimately, your resolution is found on the water. In the end, both Adolf and Eva, you know, they're trying to basically make a run for it, and they grab their surfboards and hit the water. But she gets a hold of a motorboat, and let's just say he's sort of got a I want to say sort of a I spit on your grave moment. Sort of reminds you on the boat going across the water. You kind of got some of that action going on, and ultimately, Mama gets her revenge in good order at the end. And the end is so worth it, man. And I think there's as a result of one of the deaths, there's a prop involved, and I think most of the money in the budget probably went to that prop, and that thing looks good. It really does look good. So it's one of those weird movies. If, you know, Troma is sort of hit and miss with me. You know, everyone's like The Children. I love The Children. There's a few Troma ones I like. Troma, generally speaking, is a little too excessive for me in some areas. It's just me. It's just me. You know, there's a small grouping of a few films that are sort of Troma, but not really Troma. You know what I mean, if you're pretty familiar with Troma. I love The Children, man. The weirdest thing about The Children is just getting past Manfredini's score, man, because I'm just waiting for Jason to come out of the woods or something at any moment. Or Mom. Mrs. Voorhees, right? And this one, so this one sort of has a little bit more of a Troma feel, but it's not totally, you know, like overboard Troma like some of their movies are. And nothing against, man, Troma's Troma. I'm glad and happy to have Troma in the family of companies putting out their own sort of brand of filmmaking. I mean, it's awesome. But I'm just not into a lot of it. But this one I was just in the mood to dip my toes a little bit in, I guess pun intended considering the end of the movie. And so, I don't know, I can't remember what the catalyst was. Why surf Nazis? I don't know, something in my, I don't know, I seen it somewhere, something, I don't know. And so I just went ahead and I haven't even showed it up. Physical media matters here. I haven't even put up the stupid movie. It's not stupid, by the way. I did use junk and stupid interchangeably, and I don't really mean either, but yeah, so I want to say it was only like 12 bucks, maybe nine bucks. It was pretty cheap. Got a little, got a few extras on there. Lloyd Kaufman does a little bit of an intro, which is it's really quick. It's pretty good though. This apparently is the director's cut. If I didn't see it, directed by Peter George. The cinematographer on this, he directed Night Ranger's video, Sister Christian. Kind of interesting. The composer on this, a little bit of a jack of trades. He was a set dresser on Phantasm 2, John McCollum. And some of the special effects for Scalps. So yeah, you got a few interesting hands at work in here. Cast does pretty well. It does feel like they enjoy it, that they're having fun making this movie, I think, for the most part. It's just, I don't know, the pacing. I think the pacing in like the first nearly 3/4 of the movie, the pacing was a little off for me. And like I said, I had to work at it a little bit. I had to work a little bit for this one, but it was worth it. The end was so worth it. Mom on the boat, man. I had the visions of Spit on Your Grave, man. She's out on that boat, man. And, you know, the only thing missing was the hatchet up here. It's great stuff. So, yeah. So, if you're a Troma fan, B-movie fan, dude, get this while it's cheap. I mean, it's, you don't get movies as cheap and they're sort of cult fave, you know, movies all the time. Chance I may be going on a movie hunt Monday. So I don't know. Hope for the best for me. Fingers crossed, right? Maybe I'll run into something unexpected. That would be nice. Little tag here. The beaches have become the battlefields. The waves are a war zone. Good stuff, man. From Lloyd Kaufman and company. Good stuff. Like I said, this one you may have to work for a little bit, but the end is worth it, man. I think the end is worth it. So random week, and I want to say, is this 80s theme week at the end? I want to say it's theme week at the end. Is 80s horror? I hope it is. I think it is. I think it is. And I want to say at the end of the month, I'll be doing The Hidden. And I got that up on my shelf, and I cannot wait to revisit that. I got some good memories as a kid on that one. And I've been just dying. But I want to pace. I don't want to get into it a little too early. But I'm looking forward to getting into that one. And so that ought to be a fun theme week at the end. And when that reminds me, I got to start thinking about April and getting that sheet together for us. We kind of go out ahead a few months, and wanted to say right here, I'm on it. I might as well just say it, how much I appreciate just the guys at BodyBags, and we had our bi-weekly chat last night, and it's just fun, man. We get together, we just talk movies and talk crap, man, for a few hours, and it's just nice, man. It's just a nice break from the monotony. And so you need to know that here at BodyBags, man, we do get along really well, and it kind of everything fits together really nice. Enough that consistently we're on the chat group every other week together, and we're all contributing our ideas to what year we ought to pull from, what label we ought to pull from the second weekend, what our theme. We all individually have our month. We pick our themes. Got one coming up here real soon. In fact, for April is Sam's theme week, and I got to get to work getting that sheet together so everyone can start figuring out what they're going to do for that month. So a little bit of a behind the scenes here look, but we do to say that we get along is a gross understatement. It's a great thing we got here at BodyBags. It is a really good thing, and it's just a great thing. In light of how crazy the world gets sometimes, and you know, you have your individual families and those close to you, but it's nice that you have something like this. You know, it really does help. So shout out to the entire BodyBags crew, you know, Glenn on Monday and Jason on Tuesday, and on Wednesday, and my son on Thursday. Friday Friday happens to be blank for the moment, not too worried about it. You know, things always take care of themselves ultimately. Lonnie anchors down Saturday, and of course, Mr. Calx on Sunday. And it's a good crew here. Very appreciative of the guys we got here. So I hope you appreciate it. I know you do. You guys are great, man. Just watching, dropping comments, the like button, and all that junk. It really helps, and it's appreciated. And so thank you. I very mean it. Thank you. As always, man, we end these things off with Go Bills.
This is not a dream. Not a dream.
We might be useful to you.